We've got a lot of weird convention news lately, but it's because it's convention season. We've of course, had quite a crazy 2024, with San Diego Comic-Con having a human trafficking sting, Gen Con having its weird woke awards that were banning Jewish people from being a part of it. I crap you not. Worldcon banning its own leaders in order to virtue signal. And now Dragon Con's moving to the left, maybe, with a strange situation involving a conservative artist and author whose work was nominated. It was put up there. It was shown as one of the Dragon Award nominees. The Dragon Awards were, we'll get into the history in a bit. And then it got taken down suddenly, and there were no rules that were violated, but they started making up rules after the fact, which seem like standards are only being upheld in some instances and not in others. This tells me it's politically motivated, and this is a bad sign for the Dragon Awards if it's going down this direction. We'll get into the news in just a moment. My name's John Delarose, everybody. I am the most trusted name in science fiction news, and of course, one of the greatest comic creators out there right now. If you have not checked out my Hidden Emperor sci-fi graphic novel, we are almost to 25,000. Come back this today. We actually have a leather-bound edition in this one, which you can get. And if we get 2 leather-bound backers, we're going to hit that 25K. It's got 2 graphic novels in the leather-bound edition. They're going to be beautiful, high quality. I teamed with a group that really makes the highest quality leather-bound books out there, and I can't wait to get one myself. There's also some other great tiers. I've got my full graphic novel collection if you want to go all in on stuff. And of course, the complete Ayla Rin stories is a great way to pick up this sci-fi universe and get involved. Thank you guys for supporting independent comics and independent work. I appreciate you guys for being there. And yeah, check that out in the description below. Hit the like and subscribe button because nobody else talks about the stories we talk about here. I'm the only one who reports on it. And that's why we've been growing so much. It's been a great year for the channel. And this is a strange situation out of Dragon Con. Now, Dragon Con historically has been more of a fan convention than like Worldcon or whatever, with lots of different fandoms converging upon Atlanta. It's a crazy scene. 50,000 people end up in these hotels. It's hard to walk from hotel to hotel because it's so packed. And they have a bunch of stuff. They have Star Trek there, Star Wars there, literary stuff there. All the TV actors, video games, everything. You got a little bit of everything. It's hard. It's so much. It's so overwhelming. It's hard to pick what you're going to do. And it's a lot of fun. It really is. Now, they started the Dragon Awards as a sort of a counter to the Hugo Awards. The Hugo Awards had been destroyed by wokeism. They actually gave an award to some weird story called If I Were a Dinosaur, My Love, which was some weird fetish thing about like banging a dinosaur, and it wasn't even a story. And it showed how crazy the trans LGBTQ movement was, because it's not about stories; it's just about their identities and their weird fetishes, and that's all it's always about. And so some people decided to start a new award that really is just going to be fan voted only, a little less gatekeeping. And it went pretty well for the first couple years. I actually got nominated for a Dragon Award for military science fiction for one of my books. And over the years, corporate's kind of taken it over. It's mostly being won by big book publishers again. And the glory days where it was really just about independent fans are kind of over. Now, there's still a few categories where that still happens, which is like the best book cover is one of them. And Cedar Sanderson, who's a conservative author, she runs with a group called the Mad Genius Club, who is kind of acolytes of Sarah Hoyt, who used to be a Bane Books author before things kind of went awry there. And Cedar's working with this Raconteur Press in order to produce books. So she got nominated for this book for best cover called Goblin Market. And here's this, and she's got some stories by some different people here, and you see the dragon on the cover. It looks pretty, there it is. It got nominated, and what happened was it got removed at the same time. So here they said concerning the Dragon Awards, the publisher said it was nominated, it was on the ballot, best illustrative cover. And then they were surprised by its removal. There was no explanation, no replacement name added to the list, no comment of any kind from the Dragon Awards or reason behind it. Cedar had not been contacted. Multiple emails, many fans have gone unanswered. So they went and they just removed this and purged it without explanation for a long time. Several days went by. And they finally did actually respond a little bit later. And here was what Dragon Con's reply was. It says, after posting the nominees list for the Dragon Award 2024, we were alerted to the fact that Cedar Sanderson's entry in the Best Illustrative Cover category had been created in part using artificial intelligence tools. As a consequence, we removed the cover from consideration because we don't allow AI in our art show, comic, pop artist alley, vendor halls, or awards. Though Sanderson's nomination was included on the website for a short time, none of the ballots emailed prospective voters included it. So what they said, our intent with the Dragon Awards is to provide a great list of books to read across 8 categories: television shows, movies, corporate. We recognize AI is a new tool with enormous potential, and society will eventually come to a consensus about how it should be used, and content can be used creating AI while crediting the human for work, at which time we will consider changing our policy. Until then, we want Dragon Awards to offer fans an opportunity to recognize the humans who created the work that the fans love best. Well, Cedar Sanderson did create this. Now, I don't know how much AI art she used versus how much was her own art or artists that she worked with. I tried to talk to Cedar Sanderson, did not get a reply on that. Unfortunately, there's a few factions in science fiction fandom that don't like the fact that I have a lot of influence over fandom now, and sadly, Cedar's kind of followed that path. But I at the same time, what a weird standard. And on top of this, if it said in the rules that no AI art would have been considered, that would have been one thing. But that's the thing that Dragon Con didn't do here. It was not in the rules. AI art was not a problem, according to them, until after the fact. And they removed it, again, before saying anything, without doing anything. And that's very interesting there. Now, oh, sorry. I'm sounding like your boy Zach here. Now, there were several other books nominated, and it looks like, potentially, interestingly, that other books also are using AI tools in order to make their work. And so this was pointed out by Raconteur Press, and they actually said that they hoped that the Dragon Awards would check things out. Let me see if I can find their post on this here, and actually treat everybody fairly and treat everybody the same, right? But the thing is, I don't think that that's the case because here's what they said. Has responded to our inquiry as we note, as of other people, that you stated your rules for entry, the site do not mention in any way, shape, or form that the artist's use of AI in the work is not allowed for nomination. Indeed, this is the only requirement listed. What is the best illustrative book cover for qualifying works of science fiction? First release in print or electronic in July 1st or later. So unless we're missing something, there's no mention of AI tools. It would be remiss of us if we didn't point out that many people noted that several other nominations in this category appear to have used AI processes. We will trust that after being notified about Cedar's use of AI, you choose to verify with all finalists that they didn't use any AI tools in the production of their work, as it now has become a point of interest for those nominations disenfranchised by this lack of clarity. Well, guess what? There's been no talk about any other nominations being disqualified or being talked about in terms of other AI stuff, and that's what gives my little spider senses a little bit of a tingle here, that there's a political problem going on. And it is, I think, because Cedar Sanderson is a known vocal conservative in this outlet. I think it is because of her ties with Sarah Hoyt and the Mad Genius Club that she was targeted. I think people actually called out and wrote to Dragon Con because they probably wanted her to be canceled. And this is what it's about. Now, Dragon Con didn't have their rules, so they just reacted. I don't think the guy in charge of Dragon Con is probably one of the activists who did this. I think it was the people writing the emails. But I think his reaction just came because, again, it's easy to just cancel a conservative in these spaces rather than actually do due diligence and be slow to react and then actually go across all things and treat everybody equally. They never treat everybody equally. They always just target one group, and it's always the same. So this is maybe another story where Dragon Con is going down the drain, and I'm very, very interested in watching this. We're going to be paying attention to Dragon Con, making sure that there's not problems with them treating conservatives as second-class citizens like many other conventions do going forward, and we'll call them out if we see further problems because, gosh, this would be a shame for this convention to go by the wayside like so many others have. It's been such a disaster for Gen Con. It's been such a disaster for Worldcon. And gosh, this is one of the few that's left that seem to be a space where everybody could just enjoy fandom together. I hope it remains the case. Either way, when there's nothing in violation of rules, you shouldn't remove something that was then nominated, which complied by the rules you had. You change your rules for next year, Dragon Con. That's how you do things. This is shady, it's underhanded, and it's not transparent as a process, and that's exactly what the Hugo Awards were that caused their downfall to begin with. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out the Hidden Emperor graphic novel on Kickstarter. Thank you guys so much again for coming in so hard for this. We are the alternative out there, and you are showing your support. It's been amazing. We'll be back soon.